First honey pool of 2026. I'm not sure how many we're gonna have ready, but we're gonna pool the supers we have ready, spin them out, and return them back to the hives in hopes that they'll fill them up again. I normally don't smoke this heavy, but I'm 90% sure this is a super I want to go ahead and pool. So we're going to go ahead and take this out of here. It doesn't have any handles. Oh yeah, that is heavy. Definitely a super we want to pool. Let's check it out. I don't have a fume board, or I got some escape boards, but not enough to do the amount of hives I have, so we're just going to, oh yeah, look at that. That size, but this side, and that's the outside frame, already capped. So this is definitely, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna shake the bees off. It looks like I might be pulling that super too, so. But we're gonna go ahead and shake the bees off, and then I'll use a, you'll see, set up over there, I already have a leaf blower. I'm gonna shake the bees off here as much as I can, then I'll leaf blow them the rest of the way. Look at that. 2026 honey. This is not the most efficient way to do this. I am just limited in the equipment that I have available. So we make do. Just gonna work as fast as possible so the bees don't come back. Beautiful. The other side. Not all of it's capped, but enough. We can dry it down before we spin it out. Even when these outside frames are partly capped, you know it's pretty good. All right, do that tap, and let's take this one. I'm back, let's check this other one. This one may or may not be ready, we'll see. Looks like it might be close to it. It's a very light color. Yeah, I think we could take this one too. For sure. It's not fully capped, but like I said, we could dry it down. Go ahead and get this one off here. Pretty darn heavy. That one's not ready. Close to it. Look at that. Frame number 2. Frame number 3. Beautiful. So the goal is to dry down any honey, that is not ready. Today and tomorrow, today and tonight, and extract tomorrow, and then get these supers right back on the hives. And with any luck, and if this drought doesn't mess us up, they can fill these back up before the end of the honey flow. That one's not ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 here. Otherwise, I just, if it was 9, I'd pop it down in there. This outside frame needs a little work, but we'll take it anyway for now. All right, gotta spread these frames back out. They got moved a little. Transit. Gotta make sure there's gaps below the bees out here. Lift it on in. Here. I got a bottom board, a little blocking piece of wood, and a lid here. That'll keep the bees out. I'll grab the rest of them. Here. Piece of wood blocking the entrance right there on the bottom board. Lid. I'm sure there's still gonna be some bees left, but better than hundreds of bees while I'm trying to extract. It's the next day. We pulled honey supers yesterday. It's April 26th. Ready to extract some spring honey. We did an early pull, 6 supers. We'll get those extracted, back on the hives. Super excited. Tested the moisture content on a refractometer on an outside frame that wasn't capped at all, reading at 17.5%. I did run a box fan on this stack all day yesterday and last night, along with the dehumidifier. We're at about, it rained last night, but we're at 37% humidity in here. I believe last night it was about 25% humidity until it rained. So low humidity in this workshop. It's about 93 degrees in here, so it's very hot. So it should help us get that honey out a lot faster. We're running the Hilco heated slicing uncapper, I believe it's called. This is gonna be my first time giving this a shot. I can feel that we're heated up to 110 degrees. And I can feel that these are nice and warm, ready to go. I got my scratcher ready to go. The 40-inch uncapping tank, also from Hilco. And this no-name spinner that I've had for a little while. It's an 18 frame, works just fine. I did put it on the Hilco springs, which has been wonderful using those springs. It's definitely a game changer instead of holding it down as it's bumping everywhere. So let's get to extracting. Now this is the frame that I did the test on. You can see it's not even, well, it's capped on that side, but uncapped on that side. So ready to go. Here's my first try on this Hilco uncapper. Let's see how it does. it needs some adjustments. It is too tight, for sure. So you can adjust this and bring it out. Please excuse the headgear. It's, like I said, it's 94 degrees in here. It's only getting hotter. And I do not want to sweat in my honey. So I made some adjustments. Let's try that. I think that might be a little too light. We need to loosen it a little bit. Better loose than tight. Almost there. A little more. It's good on the back side. Front side just needs a little bit. There we go. Got a shot. And we got our scratcher here. For anything it doesn't get, just scratch off. Frame down. That is awesome. Very happy with that. Just a few cappings that are a little shallow. Use the scratcher for it. Good to go. Placing every other frame right now because this is a shallow, we have shallow, medium, and medium. So half will be shallow frames, half will be medium frames, so we can balance this out. Very nice. Just a couple shallow spots I didn't get. This will help. A little bit on the corners. For the most part, I was nailing everything. A little shallow. I'm good to go. Keep you loaded up. Time for the magic. Start off low. It goes better faster. faster it is, the better the wobble gets. Let's just go ahead and get up to speed. Here's the money. Beautiful, very light color. Here's the second spin, and it's much darker than the first. All right, let's bottle some honey. It's my first time bottling with my new 16-gallon Hilco bottling tank. We got it at 102 degrees right now. It's been warming up for about 4 hours, so I think it should be at a perfect temperature for bottling. This is my first time using these jars, so I just want to make sure we get the right weight in each jar. So we're going to use this little kitchen scale, tare that, and we're good. Here we go. Good thing about this is, since I'm coming from this side, I can move this over here. And that is smooth. And let's see. 254. That is over what we should be, but that's fine. Beautiful and very fast. I already sanitized all these jars and these lids. I just saw a drip there. Wrong size lid. Here we go. Beautiful. We got our labels here. Let's go ahead and toss a label on there so you can see the finished product. I'm sure I'm doing this crooked. Yeah, it's crooked. I'm gonna have to get used to hand applying these labels. I'm too much of a perfectionist. There we go. Hopefully you can see that. Beautiful. One jar down, many more to go. Let's see if we can get to the proper weight and learn where that is. Whew. Let's see. Still over about 20 grams. I'm sure my customers won't mind that we're overfilling them. Eventually we'll get a easier way to put these labels on, but I'm liking that look. See if we can figure out exactly where it's supposed to be. Maybe go a little bit slower. This goes really fast, nice and warm. There's a little drip, so it says no drip. So we're a little under the top. Let's see where we're at in weight. 244, so we're still not there. We're shooting for 227. Like I said, I am not upset about overfilling these slightly. I'm sure my customers won't be upset. I'm just more so curious and to find the proper fill point for these jars. Once I get that mastered, I can stick there, or we might just keep overfilling them. Whatever looks the best really is what I care about. Once we figure out where if it's the proper fill point doesn't look good, we'll definitely go over it. So there we go. We're going a little bit lower, almost right at the shoulder of the jar. Almost. 240. We're just creeping down just a little bit each time. And the label. Beautiful. See, we're gonna find it. We're gonna find exactly where 227 is. That's way under, but we're just gonna see. So that's below the shoulder. I would never even fill it this. So this is 227. We're gonna. That's 215. So we tap it a little bit. So there, it's still under the shoulder of the jar. That's 221. We still got a little bit of room. It's right at the shoulder. You can see that there. Basically right at the shoulder of the jar. 228. Okay. So it's right exactly where I should be filling it, you know. You can see here. Obviously, if we had a speed fill, which I'm okay with not having, there's perfect spacing in that jar. Now, I know to not go under there. Of course, I would never go under there, that amount. Going over is fine. But I just wanted to learn, since these are brand new jars. It's my first time bottling with them. Exactly where to go with them. All right, that was really fast. We got all these jars bottled up. So we only did, I gave away, a good friend of mine came and visited today, and I gave him the first jar I ever bottled. So these are the next 11. All right, moving on to our 16-ounce 1-pound jars. Assuming it's going to be right at the shoulder again. But we're going to go ahead and tear that off and make sure we're getting the perfect amount or more in here. It's above the shoulder, so I'm going to assume, yeah, over by about 30 grams. So we'll play with that here. Get our label on here. Now this is tricky. The other one was easy because I could just put it right on the top. This one we're going to aim for somewhere in the middle. There was a line. Hopefully I can be pretty uniform about this. I think it looks beautiful. Love it. Let's do a couple more. We'll get that precise. This is so fast. There's a decent amount of bubbles in it though, which I'm not really liking. I'm not sure where those bubbles are coming from. This has been sitting in this bottle tank for about 4 days now. So 472, so about 20 grams over still. But that's about the perfect. I don't think I'd want to go any less than that. So I think we're just going to be about 20 grams over on each of these bottles, because I would not want to go any less than that in this bottle. So we can agree to be a little bit heavy on that for our customers' sake. And aesthetics is everything here. A little high, I'll figure that out. Very nice. We harvested for our spring harvest, our first harvest of the year. We got about 25 gallons. or 300 pounds. There you go. Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't want to go. 462. That's perfect. 462, right above that shoulder. We got a good measure on this. We can just keep rolling through them now. But yeah, very decent spring harvest of 300 pounds. I'm only gonna bottling up about 60 pounds right now, just to get sales started for the year, and we'll keep going from there. But I'm really loving our new bottles and our new label. Let me know, comment what you think, anything I can change. But very smooth bottling experience. I ended up putting a bucket underneath the dripless valve because it will drip afterwards. Even though it's a dripless valve, it'll only give you about one drip, so it's much better than using the standard Huddy gate. And then you can use the bottle to kind of catch it. Here, I'll show one last one. What seems to be the best way to keep it to not drip. Because it'll still drip. See, drip, and then it'll give it another drip if you just wait. It'll drip one last time. It's coming. I can see it's gonna make me a liar. I can see the bubble right there. Either way, that will eventually drip. So if you just catch it with the lip of your jar, you won't get that last drip. So I put a bucket underneath there to catch it. There we go. I got 24 more, or we've done 4, so I got 20 more of these 1 pound jars to do before I move on to the 2 pound jars. All right, on to the last bottle. This is our 2 pounder, 32 ounces. Let's go ahead and get that tared off. I'm sure it's right around the same place as the last one, but we'll find out. $936. So sorry, 939. Around. Yeah, 904. Yeah, 939. It's about 30. But that's still perfect. Right where it is. God, that's beautiful. I was looking at it. It really is. It's gorgeous color. Get a label on there. I love it. This is not taking me very long. This bottling tank really speeds things up. You can see how fast it just comes pouring out of there. You gotta be careful. I let it go too fast. That's definitely way up there. That's fine. 967. That's almost 6. That's 60 grams over. Once again, I'm always fine. So I have this scale here. I'm always fine with it going over. Never under. So I've been weighing every single one just to make sure. I know I'm not going to go under, but it's part of the process. Put it right there. Once again, about 60 grams over. Maybe somebody could tell me. I get these, some of them get all these bubbles here. I almost feel like it would be worth the ones that get a lot of bubbles, just sitting it to the side and letting those bubbles rise to the top. before I put the lid on. I'm gonna try that. This is the most bubbles I've ever gotten in one, so I'm just gonna do that there. Let that sit to the side, put the lid on. I'm sorry, put the label on. Let those bubbles rise to the surface. Maybe that'll make a difference. We'll see. Let's do one more. If I go a little slower, I'll get a little less bubbles. $943. That's pretty good. This one doesn't have as many bubbles, so I went a little slower. Maybe it's too fast. Don't want to go full speed there. There we go. It's again gorgeous. Very happy with this year's harvest so far. It is May 2nd right now, but I harvested on May 27th, I believe it was. Oh, sorry, April 27th, I believe it was. So we got those supers right back on the hives, and we definitely have time for them to fill those up along with all the rest of the supers that are still out there, and still adding more supers every day whenever it looks like they need them. Nope, get away this one. So, hopeful to get much more before the end of the season. But I'm going to keep bottling. Thank you for watching. And if you enjoy this type of content, like and subscribe.